Just when you were getting sick of triads like the CIA Triad and the AAA Triad, I have yet another one for you, the PPP Triad. So now we have 3 triads, a triad of triads, and if that's not enough, we're going to have at least 2 more before we're done. So the PPP Triad has to do with the systems that support the CIA Triad. Once again, remember that with all of these triads, they're all just different perspectives that do the same thing. They're all sort of a complete view of security that protects the data from different perspectives. So let's take a look at the 3 P's, and this time I made them look a little different. I made concentric rings rather than a triangle. I did this for a very specific reason, and that's because this particular triad begins to hint at something we'll be talking about later, called defense in depth. In other words, you have to get through each of these layers before you get to the data. So the first is procedures. Procedures have to do with the organizational policies and structure. That all begins with the company's mission statement, that one big statement that every company has that sets the tone for all of the rest of the policies of that company. So that mission statement then trickles down to the security policy, and then that in turn trickles down to the firewall configurations, access control systems, and we haven't talked about what that means yet. We will later on in the course, but there are various kinds of access control systems, discretionary, mandatory, and so on. The guard's orders, the camera image retention policies, shredding policies, sign-in badging and escort policies, and then termination. What happens when somebody quits or somebody is let go from the company? How do we deal with that, and what's the policy? The next one, of course, is the people, as you can see here, or personnel. These are the employees and non-employees. Because we have to consider that there are guests that also interact with this company. So we have to take those into account too. Again, just like the mission statement trickles down to the other, that sets the tone for the other policies, well, management here sets the tone for everybody else. They set the tone then for the IT department personnel and the non-IT department. We have to consider everybody in the company when it comes to cybersecurity, because it is the people in the company that tend to be our greatest weakness. So we have to look at training programs, how to recognize malicious email, things like that. We also have to look at things like our guards. Where do we get our guards? Are these just anybody that came in off the street that we pay minimum wage, or are we going to use highly trained, technically trained guards who maybe are IT people who are security experts? So we have to make those kinds of decisions as well. Third are the products, and the products, of course, are the hardware, the software, and then the physical grounds themselves. The servers, the workstations, the software, firewalls, intrusion systems. By intrusion systems, I mean both the computer intrusion systems as well as physical intrusion systems. Logging systems, alarms, infrastructure devices, physical security systems, doors, gates, windows, locks, alarms, and that kind of thing. So a person would actually have to get through the procedures and know the procedures, get through the people, and get through all these products in order to get down to this data. And again, that's why I made these concentric rings, because you would have to drill through this entire set in order to get down to the data and compromise it.